Hey, so there's only one reason why you're here. You want to know which Soundboks backpack to buy. So let me help you out with that. Okay, so here guys, I have the Soundboks backpack, and then I got the Soundboks the backpack. This is obviously a new one, and this is the older one. So you guys want to know which one is better, right? That's just gonna depend, because the new backpack, I like it. It's got a lot more plush to it, right? It seems more comfortable. It has better features as far as the moisture wicking features of it for your back, for your shoulders. It's got a good waist strap. It's got a good chest strap. Same thing as the old one, but the only thing the old one doesn't have, it doesn't have all that extra padding. It doesn't have the moisture wickingness. However, the straps aren't as thick either. So you got to look at what really matters to you, okay? There's a little bit of a price difference between the two. But here, I'm just here to show you guys. You guys are gonna make the determination on if the price difference matters or not. If you guys do not plan on buying a Soundboks Go, for example, which is the smaller speaker, that'll be that guy behind the newer one. I would say the old one is not a bad choice. Now for me, for example, I have this little bit of an arch in my back. Look at me stand from the side. I got a little butt on me, pause, no homo. But I do have hips. I got a little bit of butt for a guy, and these matter because when I put the old one on, it held up closer to the middle of my back. Right here, this part of your back, guys, that's where that's uncomfortable for me. And I'm not saying, look at me, I'm standing up straight like normal. So I may have like a little bit of a gap here in my back. Right in this part of my back, there's sort of a gap. This thing makes that like stand out 10 times more. It's just, this backpack has too much of a gap right here in this part of your back. And that's a problem for me because when I'm walking, I don't know how to, it just feels awkward. I feel like I want to lean forward because I'm trying to push back. I'm trying to push the middle of my back that way so it can somewhat press against this part of the actual backpack. That shouldn't be like that. Then now I'm walking abnormally. Where this one holds a lot closer to the middle of your back, so it feels more natural. Yeah, it's got more of aluminum framing, it's got less padding than the newer one does, but this one's really good still. It's a little bit heavier, right? Because it has basically a base plate down here. The newer one doesn't. You guys can see there's no base plate, and I'll show you how to get a base plate in a second. The base plate on the older one has, and that one doesn't stand up on its own easily either, but the older one does. But there's some pads down here to keep from scratching your unit. This one right here will only work with the generation 2, 3, and 4 sound boxes and the big ones. This one cannot hold the Soundboks Go unless you probably do some sort of a modification where you'll allow to, I'm sure there's modifications you can do where you can make a Soundboks Go and don't have to buy the newer one to do it. In case you guys have the actual old Soundboks backpacks, I'm sure there's something you can do. But it has the same features otherwise. It has a chest strap, right? Let me put this on real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. As far as what goes to your body, the new one and the old one have the chest straps. Something that the older backpack has that the newer one doesn't are these little strap holders. That's what I like to call them. Well, it's not up here, but let me show you on the bottom. So the waist strap. You snap in the waist strap, and what do you do with all this extra dangling? Well, the older one has these little like holders for them to keep it nice and tidy. That's on both sides. All right. Same thing for something else. I like this mechanism better. You see this? To tighten it and loosen it. Tighten it, it's easier. You got these hooks you can put your fingers in, you can pull down and get a good tight on it, you know, a good tightening on it. And then to loosen it, you grab these little things here and you just kind of pull up on them and they come out. So actually this fits my back better. There's no gap. I don't feel this crazy gap right here in the middle of my back with the older one. But I'll show you guys with the newer one it does. But the newer one has a lot more padding. So this is where it gets tricky, guys, because you're trying to figure out which one to buy, right? Let me show you the newer one and its features and how it looks and compared to this one. And then you guys can make the determination. I'll tell you which one I would have if I didn't buy any of these and I just had to keep one of them. I'll tell you guys. So here's a newer one here. What's good about the newer one? Well, it has more of a turtle shell design. You guys can see from the side, the back part here leans forward. It's got this forward lean to it. So it's to basically almost try to hug over your shoulders, which for me, that's where the problem is because now it leaves this gap right here in this middle part. This part right here is just a pad for your speaker. There's nothing in here. There's no zipper to unzip it or whatever. It's just a pad in here for your speaker to be comfortable. You got these two upper tabs, right? These are gonna wrap around the speaker when it's on. I'm gonna show you guys how to install the straps because this one works off of straps, all right? What the new one has that the old one doesn't is right here on these waist straps, you got pouches, one on each side. Inside of these pouches are going to be the hooks or the straps that you're going to use to strap the speaker to this backpack. So we're going to pull them out. Okay, so check this out. This strap right here, this is always going to be, you can see how the hooks look. This is always going to be the strap that holds the top part of the big speakers, okay? It'll also hold this speaker. You can only mount this speaker sideways like this to the backpack. If you try to lay it down the way it was before I just sat it up on the side like that, it's going to be too short and you won't be able to strap that speaker in. So the speaker has to be standing up like that as far as the Soundboks Go goes. Okay, so now how do you put straps on this actual backpack? Well, this is what you guys want to do. You want to lay the backpack on its back, just like this. This is the part. Always remember, this square piece right here is where the speaker lays up against. Doesn't matter if it's a Soundboks Go, Soundboks 2, 3, or 4. Now, Soundboks says this doesn't work with the Soundboks 1 speaker. I don't have a Soundboks 1 to actually test it, so I have to take their word for it. Your speakers will always go on the side where you see the Soundboks logo, okay? So before we do that, here's what you guys want to do. You want to locate strap C or strap loop C and strap loop B. C is always going to be for the bottom of the speaker. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set the Soundboks Go up. All right. Now this thing works the exact same way as a Soundboks 2, 3, and 4. It's just going to be a much bigger speaker. This concept is going to be all the same. You want to lay the speaker. This is what Soundboks says to do. Lay the speaker down on top of the backpack. Locate your lower strap. Remember I showed you guys there's a longer one of these and there's a shorter one. The shorter one is obviously for the Soundboks Go. All you're gonna do is just loop it right here, right up on the bottom. This is gonna be what holds up the speaker when it's dangling off of your back. Now you wanna go, let me turn this to the side. Remember, the lower strap, this is the lower strap. The upper strap's gonna go across the top here of the speaker. Locate the lower strap, which is C. The lower strap is always going to the lower loop. So we're gonna go on ahead and take this little pin right here. We're gonna move that out of the way so that we can loop it down on C. And boom, it'll go like this, okay? Then we're gonna come to the other side and do the exact same thing. Locate the lower loop for the lower strap and then loop it down in there on C. Voila. Now, I know. It looks, there's a lot of play here. It looks like there is, and there could be a lot of play. This is why Soundboks tells you to put the speaker down first. And if you want to make it tighter, you can push the speaker that way towards the bottom of the backpack, and it'll hold this in here, hold this in place. Now, you want to take this back strap, which is the top strap or whatever you want to call it. This is important. always slide this thing down from the top. So you want to do it like this. You see how I got it? Just pay attention. Pay attention how I got this going. You're gonna locate the upper loop and take this upper strap, and you see how the opening is right here on the bottom. You want to go from the top, slide it down like that. Can you guys see that? I slid it from the top. And you take this metal rod and you latch it closed. Come on the other side and do the exact same thing. Identify the upper loop, which is letter B, and you take this thing from the top, just like this, and you loop it down from the top and then latch it closed. And there you go. And all you're gonna do, I'm just centering the back so you guys can see these little the excess strap or whatever, you pull it towards the speaker. And that's how you're gonna tighten up this top strap. Once you do this, this bottom part goes nowhere. You guys can see, it will go absolutely nowhere. That's how you connect the Soundboks 2, 3, 4, and go to the book back. You guys can see, it's on here very good and it will go nowhere. And so from here, all I'm gonna do, you can carry the backpack with the loop, with the little hook right here. That's another cool design about the newer one. Let's put this on. Now I've done a test fit with the Soundboks 3 on this newer backpack and it was very uncomfortable. I didn't like it at all. This one here, you got I'll loop this in here on the sides, you pull it. Like I told you guys, that's a flaw with the newer one. It don't have those things to hold this excess in from just flapping around. So you guys are always gonna be dealing with the flappy stuff when it comes to this newer backpack. Same thing up here. There's nothing to loop this excess into to hold it tight, okay? This is pretty much what it looks like. And you have the third adjustment to hold it here. And I tell you what, this feels very, very more natural with the Soundboks Go in it. It feels very, very good. I don't feel that gap in the middle of my back with wearing this backpack with the Soundboks Go in it. It feels really good. Let me tighten, go a little more with this. Okay, so this feels a lot better. So when I had the Gen 3 Soundboks in this newer backpack, that back gap felt nasty. It felt like it was trying to do either too much, it was trying to hold too much down here on the bottom or too much on the top. And my back has a natural arch a little bit right in the middle. And on top of me having a butt and some hips, the backpack, this newer backpack with, with the Soundboks 3 in it, wants to sit on top of my hips. So when I'm walking, it's constantly like making this gap in the middle. It just feels crazy. But with the Soundboks Go, this thing feels amazing. It actually feels really, really good. So here's my conclusion, which by the way, I'm gonna jump around. Okay? Feels really good with the Soundboks Go in there. So here's my conclusion with these. This is my opinion, okay? I'm gonna leave you to make your own opinion. If you guys have any questions, ask me in the comments below. And let me get a like, by the way, okay? You've been here this long, let me get a like. Hit the like button real quick. Now check this out. My opinion, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep this or not, but now that I see how it fits with the Soundboks Go, I'm gonna keep this newer Soundboks backpack, the backpack. I'm only gonna use it for the Soundboks Go. The only thing I'll ask for Soundboks to do is to give us those little straps, man. Give us the straps like those. Let me show you right there that the old one has. We need those. Give us those so that we can loop all this excess crap into. And then I think we're in the money, man. We're talking business, talking real business here. This is a lighter frame. The frame is made of some sort of composite plastic, so it's a lot lighter. Like I said, it's not significantly lighter, but just it's noticeably lighter. You'll notice the difference when you have this on versus the older backpack. The extra padding on this newer one is cool, but as far as like at least the ones right here in the middle of the back, I'm not feeling it. But like I said, we all have different body shapes. If you're a lot rounder than I am and you fill up your back a lot more, you're probably going to like this backpack, the backpack. You're probably gonna like it better than the older one. But for someone like me, it's only comfortable with the Soundboks Go, not with the Soundboks 3. So that's my intake on it. You make your own decision. Soundboks do have a return policy. So I just wanted you guys to hear and see, like, my body, I had that little curve in the middle of my back. And for me, that's a problem with the newer one. The older one seems to sit more flush against my back. I don't know why or how, but it does. But that's all I got, guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Jay on the Segue, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.